today is August 31st, and while not a lot of things are guaranteed to me as a busy mom with 3 crazy kids and insane schedules for both me and my husband, there is one night a month that is guaranteed to me, a date night of sorts with my husband. We will go ahead and sit down together and settle in for a long romantic night. He'll get his drink of choice, I'll get my drink of choice. His is gonna be coffee, mine's gonna be tea, and we hunker down and talk about our budget. Where you thought that romantic night was going? Yeah, well, me neither. But it's something that in order to preserve the financial integrity of our family and our sanity as individuals needs to happen. I don't know if you've heard this before, but there's kind of an insane statistic that says that the 2 leading causes of divorce for most American couples are finances and children. And here's the real talk. If you don't have children, or if you have children, you know this fact to be very true. If you have children, you need money. If you don't have children, you need money. Money is the currency that we deal with here in life to obtain goods, pay for goods, whatever. And while many of us may have grown up in households where money was just something you didn't talk about, in order to be financially successful with money, you need to talk about it. Whether it's talking about it with yourself in an honest fashion, or sitting down with a spouse or significant other to hash out a budget like Christopher and I do, finances need to be talked about. Budgets need to be made. And I know so many people cringe at the thought of a budget. For some reason, it feels so limiting, right? Like, I can't spend all this money because here's my budget. And we treat it like a 4-letter word, when in reality, it's not. And I want us to look at it differently. Instead of thinking of budget as something that constrains us, I want to toss out the word budget altogether and talk to you about a spending plan. Christopher and I get together once a month to make sure that our spending plan for the coming month is on track. We get together when we make a budget, right? So like I said, whether you're single, married, no kids, married with kids, you need to come up with a budget. And I'd like to talk to you about how we do that. Maybe give you some tips and tricks along the way. So, who needs a budget? As I just finished saying, everybody needs a budget. If you're a single person, a single parent, a married couple, you need to sit down and hash out a monthly budget in order to make sure your finances are on track. If you're a single person, maybe you can find an accountability partner that you can run your finances, with somebody that you trust, family member, whoever, just to help you have another set of eyes to look things over. If you're a married couple, I believe that it's imperative that you sit down as a unit and hash out a budget. That can be really trying and really revealing at first, because maybe you'll have somebody who is a little bit more free-spirited with the finances and you have somebody that's a little bit more, strict and stringent. It doesn't matter. You both have to sit down together and hash out a budget. That way you're both equally informed, you're both equally accountable, and you both have a say. Nobody is, baby child handling the other person. You're both in control of your finances. So now that we know who needs to make a budget, we need to figure out how to make a budget. The first thing you need to do is find out how much money it is that you have coming into your household. One of the easiest ways to do that is to look back on previous bank statements, or if you already know how much you get paid weekly, bi-weekly, whatever the case may be, is to just add that all up to whether it's twice a month that you get paid or 4 times a month that you get paid. Set it up in a way that will give you your monthly total. Because from that monthly total, we will be able to produce a zero-based budget. And the purpose of a zero-based budget is to have your total amount, subtract that which you have going out, any bills, monthly bills that you owe, your rent, your mortgage, your food, your gas, your car notes, whatever. And at the end, those 2 things should balance themselves out to a total of 0. So that's our goal, right? You're going to write your total down, and then you're going to come up with all the categories your family has of things going out, using some of the things that I listed or anything else that you have going on in your family, whether that's extra debt repayment, you need to pay down credit cards, or you're looking to beef up your savings. Give every single dollar a name. And that's super important, because I can't begin to tell you how many conversations I've had with friends and that I've had with myself and Christopher where we have before been like, where did our money go? If you don't tell your money where to go, your money will just leave, because consumerism is real, y'all. It's real. happen if you have too much month left at the end of your money? Meaning you don't have enough money to pay for all of the bills you've incurred. Well, you can fix that. You can change that situation, but it's going to require you to make some sacrifices, which is not anything any of you wants to hear, but hey, I'm here to lay the truth on you. You need to reevaluate the spending that's happening in your house. You need to reevaluate your spending plan. Are you prepared to continue to pay for that premium cable package that may be what's tipping you over your budget? Or are you prepared to keep paying for that cell phone bill that may be what's causing you to, go over on your budget? You alone will know the answers to what it is that's holding you back just by looking at the numbers that we've already laid out in our spending plan, and you alone can make the changes, the necessary changes to change that. So now that we have gotten ourselves to a point where we either had enough to cover our spending plan to begin with, or we had to adjust some things around to make sure that our spending plan made sense and get rid of some things, some wants to make sure that we could take care of needs, and we've gotten ourselves a zero-based budget, we need to be able to track that to make sure that we are staying honest and staying true to our plan. There are multiple ways to do that. The way that I choose to do it is I carry this little book around with me. It's actually like a little planner that I'd gotten before my sister got me my beautiful Erin Condren planner. And I keep a little pen in here with me. And all I do is whenever I go out and I do any shopping, whether it's clothes, food, gas, whatever, you name it, I'm writing it down, writing down the amount and where I spent it. Sure, I get receipts, but sometimes I lose my receipts or I misplace them, or things don't hit my my checking account because I've used my debit card when they should or in a timely manner. So keeping track of things on pen and paper just helps keep me honest. Christopher uses an app called $Every$, which is an app that was actually developed by Dave Ramsey. If you're familiar with who he is, he's a really great financial guru. The app is totally free, and you're actually able to set up your entire budget on the app, and you can track transactions, which is really neat. You can go in and let's say you go out to Starbucks and you get a latte. Well, if you budgeted the amount, which you should have in one of your numerous categories, you just go in there, you pick the category that it's coming out from, and it'll keep track of it, and it'll let you know, hey, you're getting close to spending your limit, or like you've got this much money left at the end of the month, what do you want to do with it? Because remember, we're always going to assign a dollar amount and tell our money where to go. Now that we have implemented our spending plan and figured out what that looks like, and we have found a method or a way to track that spending plan, whether it's writing it down in a notebook or tracking it in an app, we need to implement what I would argue is the most important thing when it comes to personal finance. Ready for this? You need to give yourself some grace, cut yourself some slack. Starting a new budget, whether it's your very first time or starting a whole new budget after going without for a while, can be really difficult and it can be really trying. So remember to cut yourself some slack and give yourself some grace. Things may not go flawlessly the first month. Things may not go flawlessly the second month. In fact, every financial guru that I've listened to and a lot of the financial books that I've read actually suggest that 3 months is about the recommended time to go with any new budget before you call it quits or say this just isn't working for me. And within that 3-month span, you are free to tweak things and change things around. Are you overspending in a certain category so you need to allow more money in that category? Are you underspending in this category so you can move some of that money to float somewhere else? Whatever you need to do, work and tweak your spending plan to make sure it meets your needs. You're the person living in your financial reality, so it doesn't need to look pretty to me. It doesn't need to look pretty to your neighbor or to your parents or to anyone else. It just needs to make sense to you, and if you have one, your spouse. So with all of that being said, I know that this is now probably a pretty long video, but I hope that you found it helpful and informative, and if there are any other areas that you feel that you have any other questions, please feel free to leave those in the comments below. I will try and answer as many as I can, either in comments or in another video in the future. And since my daughter is squeaking away over there, I think it's about time for me to wrap this up. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.